Some of you all may have seen that Joseph R. Biden Jr. was in the news recently, last night, as he had a massive, big, powerful speech. Dark Brandon gave a massive speech to Philadelphia and Pennsylvania as he was campaigning for Fetterman as well. He was going around the country. He's doing stump speeches for Democrats running across the country that have now been revitalized. Right. We looked at Biden's speech earlier in the week, in which he used the term that I think we've been so missing from Democrats speaking about what Republicans have been up to: semi-fascism. Now, I'm mad that Biden said semi-fascism. I'm not mad for the same reasons that Republicans are. They're stupid, so I don't care what they think. I'm mad because he said semi. The word semi is doing a lot of legwork there, as conservatives have literally come out to be anti-democratic. All right, they've gone anti-liberal democracy now, which is very curious. But hey, listen, persecution, victimization when it comes to the Great Replacement, anti-democratic, Christian nationalist. I mean, they're setting the stage for for themselves to be called that. But Biden wanted to put some more sauce on that. Dark Brandon came out, and I don't know what got into him. Some people were like, they hit him with some new meds or something, which made him like go crazy or something. They hit him with the Dark Brandon juice directly to the veins, but then it was starting to fall off earlier last week, but now it's all back again. So I haven't seen this speech yet, but I've heard amazing things about it, and I want to see what happens. So let's watch it together. Also, something really interesting before we get started into this, I had the luck of actually watching this after it came out, and after I heard what Republicans were doing talking about it. And after like Republicans started talking about it, they said that Biden looked evil because there was red lighting. As you can see here, there is no red lighting. When they started speaking, there was red lighting. But the reason for why there was red lighting, as you can see here, is because they lit the entire building red, white, and blue. Red, white, blue. But the red was behind him, so they said that he was like evil and stinky or something, right? As it goes. Anyways, let's get into this Biden speech. I think it would be pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of them were mad. That's the only... Ew, it is a bit of a France reference, as sad as it is. It's sad as it is. He addresses his fascism comment here. Oh yeah, I saw that. He did it again earlier. We'll take a look at it in a moment.
States and Dr. Jill Biden.
Oh my gosh, there they are. Oh my gosh, it's Dark Brandon. He's here. He's real. You got this, Brandon. Break a leg, buddy. My Brandon. That shit slaps. I will say this. I genuinely like America's national music. The Star Spangled Banner, Stars and Stripes Forever, all of that stuff, it goes mad hard. Especially Stars and Stripes Forever. That goes so hard. Star Spangled Banner, once again, great song. But Stars and Stripes Forever, dun 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 dun. It's like, what a great song, dude. The fucking the piccolo section in Stars and Stripes Forever, like, come on.
My fellow Americans, please, if you have a seat, take it. I speak to you tonight from sacred ground in America.
Is Biden, is he okay? My man, oh no, he's clearing his throat. He's making way. He's clearing his throat. He's making way to devour the maggots. Oh no.
Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is where
Give this man a drink? Nah, he's in the Midwest. I wouldn't trust water from the Midwest.
America made its Declaration of Independence to the world more than 2 centuries ago with an idea unique among nations, that in America, we're all created equal. This is where the United States Constitution was written and debated. This is where we set in motion the most extraordinary experiment of self-government the world has ever known. With 3 simple words, we...
Philadelphia's in the Midwest. Silence. You know I meant the Rust Belt. Split Michigan.
The people. We the people. These 2 documents and the ideas they embody upon which this nation is built. They're how we became the greatest nation on earth.
He's revving up. His power is starting to even mess with the electronics in the room.
They're why, for more than 2 centuries, America has been a beacon to the world. But as I stand here tonight, equality and democracy are under assault. We do ourselves no favor to pretend otherwise. So tonight, I've come to this place where it all began to speak as plainly as I can to the nation about the threats we face, about the power we have in our own hands to meet these threats, and about the incredible future that lies in front of us if only we choose it. We must never forget, we the people are the true heirs of the American experiment that began more than 2 centuries ago. We the people have burning inside of each of us the flame of liberty that was lit here at Independence Hall. A flame that lit our way through abolition, the Civil War, suffrage, the Great Depression, world wars, civil rights. That sacred flame still burns.
I love it when presidents go up to give speeches about like their country and they just read off like the country lore, you know? It's like watching a From Software game lore video or something, you know? That's like the entirety of the thing. That's it. And people love it. People eat it up. We have Bernie in each of us. What? We the people, not we, us. Not me, us. All right? We have a Bernie inside of all of us. I love Bernard.
Now in our time, as we build an America that is more prosperous, free, and just, that is the work of my presidency, a mission I believe in with my whole soul. But first, we must be honest with each other and with ourselves.
Man, he's giving himself the
Too
real
much
credit.
of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Representing extremism that threatens the very...
What the hell is this? Guardian News. My goodness. With the cuts.
very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans.
So a really interesting thing here, we went over it in the last stream when we talked about his speech, is it seems like he's been spending time trying to work out a way to attack Trump, like hardcore Trump fanatics, without causing too much division, since he, like, you know, ran on the I'm the anti-division guy, right? It is really interesting to see the change from him. From, remember when he was like voted into office and he was like, I'll bring the left and right together. I'm the guy to be able to do it. And now he's like, these people are fucking insane. You know, Remember that? Remember how we were all like, dude, don't say you can work with them. You can't work with them. It's not possible. Even when he was in office before Trump, he saw Mitch McConnell. He was in office when Mitch McConnell stopped Merrick Garland's nomination. And he was like, oh, I can still work with them. It's a lie. You cannot. And I'm just glad that he finally came to the realization that you just can't. These people are insane. And yeah, he has a little bit of a point. There are normie, I wouldn't say like the elected Republicans. Elected Republicans are all fucking insane. There are normie conservatives around who can understand this. There are people around who are like, this is kind of going too far. It depends on the type of person you are. People like, you know, the neocons like Shapiro don't like Trump, and they've never liked Trump. It's not the type of thing where they didn't like Trump when he was running, then they suck the shit out of his ass when he was like president to now, and now like try to dump him again. Like, we'll talk about Republicans in a moment after this, but people like Shapiro, like neocons, they've always hated Trump because they heck with their business interests. So you know how it is. Joe No Malarkey Biden. He's actually taken the no malarkey route. I love to see it. And it's true. These people are crazy. I'm so glad he's finally calling it out.
And that is a threat to this country. These are hard things. But I'm an American president, not a president of red America, blue America, but of all America. And I believe it's my duty to level with you, to tell the truth, no matter how difficult, no matter how painful. And here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution.
Yo, go.
They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people.
Who is this guy?
They refuse to accept the results of a free election. And they're working right now, as I speak, in state after state, to give power to decide elections in America to partisans and cronies, empowering election deniers to undermine democracy itself.
This is wild. This is wild. Yeah, Sleepy Joe has woken up, dude. Oh my God. I knew I felt something. There was a vibe shift. Remember? If you saw that first speech, his first stump speech that he gave, lose the glasses, I hate you. If you saw that first stump speech that he gave, I told you that there was a vibe shift, that there's something has happened. It's true. It's here. And we need more Democrats to run like this. We need them to use some emotion in the way that they speak. We need them to use, like how some people say, something that Democrats have been very bad at, the bully pulpit. Okay? Actually make a stand on something. Even if they can't do anything, show some emotion, show some fight. Because even if they do fight, because Democrats, they don't like not fight. They do sometimes. I want to see them fight. Put on a show. I want to see it, because most people aren't weirdo losers like us. They don't spend time looking at politics. Okay? They work their job and they feed their pets and they call their parents. Not saying that you don't do that, and if you haven't, you should. But they don't have a lot of time. They don't even know that they don't know a lot of things, right? Because they're out just kind of living their lives. And so to have this sort of fight and bring it to their doorstep, it's kind of hard to run on, hey, we did something when you never heard of it. There are a lot of things that I can tell you that the Democrats have done, or the Republicans have even done, that you haven't heard of. And it's more strategic that they talk about and they don't. Republicans know a little bit more what to talk about. Not these days. They can't keep it in their pants these days. Democrats are really bad at it.
MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence.
Holy shit. This guy's crazy, dude. Where was this Biden for the last year and a half? Who is this guy? Is it like there's two Bidens? There's Sleepy Joe and then there's Dark Brandon. You know, is this sort of like Jekyll and Hyde type thing? Yeah, hey, thank you, Joe. Listen, I know you're a lurker, Joe. I know you've been watching the channel. I appreciate you. We love you there. All right. And hey, if you didn't know, we haven't covered it, but we'll do like a little meme here, especially when it comes to inciting violence. We know about how a lot of conservatives, especially these days, have been going with guns, with weapons, attacking, doxing, trying to shut down like drag queen story hour, things like that. Like LGBT kids events, how they've been trying to, if you remember, Republicans have been trying to ban like images and depictions of gay people, of queerness from TV, and even push through a special parental guidance rating on a TV to say whether or not it's only straight. That is insanity. And even Lindsey Graham came out the other day to speak about how he thinks that if the investigation into Donald Trump stealing and disappearing political documents of the country's most important secrets, that Republicans are just going to try to destroy the country.
Prosecution if there's a prosecution of Donald Trump for mishandling classified information after the Clinton debacle, there'll be riots in the streets.
So, if you persecute Trump for the crimes that he committed, then we're just gonna have to blow up the country. We're just gonna have to riot in the street. You know how it is. We can't crimes. What? We don't commit crimes. Classic Fox, am I right? Classic. That on top of how libs of TikTok and fucking Matt Walsh have been using their time recently, we'll cover it sometime, to go hard against children's hospitals. And their attack on children's hospitals has led to a bomb threat being called in one. Somebody lied and said that he planted a bomb to interfere with the operations of a children's hospital. They're child cancer patients who missed their chemotherapy because conservatives hate proper healthcare guidelines when it comes to LGBT kids. That's how much they hate them. They'd be perfectly willing to put a hold on organ transplants, on life-saving surgeries, on all of this. For what? Because you hate trans people that much? Really? They deserve everything that Biden's saying, and honestly more.
That are a threat to our personal rights, to the pursuit of justice, to the rule of law, to the very soul of this country. They look at the mob that stormed the United States Capitol on January 6th, brutally attacking law enforcement, not as insurrectionists who placed a dagger at the throat of our democracy, but they look at them as patriots. And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election as preparation for the 2022 and 2024 elections. They tried everything last time to nullify the votes of 81 million people. This time, they're determined to succeed in thwarting the will of the people. That's why respected conservatives like Federal Circuit Court Judge Michael Ludwig has called Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans, quote, a clear and present danger to our democracy. But while the threat to American democracy is real, I want to say as clearly as we can, we are not powerless.
Did I just hear somebody say, let's go Brandon in the background? Someone did say, fuck Joe Biden. There was somebody who came to specifically say, fuck Joe Biden. So, yes, you did hear, let's go Brandon. There's a chud in the crowd. Yeah, there's the pet chud. Biden, just so you know, it's the same pet chud that Biden had to tell the Secret Service not to execute last time. He's on the Biden bus, and so they go places now. He's the pet chud. Okay, he actually gave him new AA batteries for his microphone. It's very nice. He takes good care of him. They're gonna go get ice cream after this. Would he even get a pet chud? They like show up. You know, I kind of think of them like stray cats. You know, They just show up at your doorstep one day, and you have the option to take care of them or not. It's something like that. Is Biden gonna pull a McCarthyism on Trumpism? Nah, I don't think that. All I think that he's going to do is just be like, yo, we need to understand that these people are crazy. All right, Dark Brandon is rising, maggots are falling, and we need to understand that these people are insane, and we have to stop them, or else we will lose our democracy. This isn't a joke. All right, it's not a meme. It's like, unironically, it's very important to pay attention to this stuff. We know what their plan is. And if the Supreme Court was only slightly more in their favor, it may have been possible that they could have actually been able to overturn the election. That's not okay. And they want to do that more on the local level. You should see some of the laws that have been passed by Republicans at a local level. In Georgia, they banned giving water bottles to people standing in line. Here in Kentucky, they closed down as many big city polling places as possible. So voting lines go down the street multiple blocks. You stand in line for 7 hours to vote. Some people can't do that. They literally have to go home. That's not okay. They're doing everything in their power to skirt the line to make sure as few people vote as possible. If that's not telling for what type of people that these are, I don't know what else will.
In the face of these threats, we are not bystanders in this ongoing attack on democracy. There are far more Americans from every background and belief who reject the extreme MAGA ideology than those that accept it. And folks, it's within our power, it's in our hands, yours and mine, to stop the assault on American democracy. I believe America is at an inflection point, one of those moments that determine the shape of everything that's to come after.
Also, somebody mentioned Mississippi plans to tax student loan forgiveness. It is true. If you live in a Republican state, there's a high likelihood that what they're going to do is count your student loan forgiveness as taxable income to try to take more money from you. I know Mississippi plans that. I know a couple other Republican states are planning that as well, to follow in those footsteps. And at the moment in time, Ted Cruz is like surfing around smoke-filled back rooms filled with Republican operatives and governors and GOP lawmakers looking for a way to try to overturn student loan forgiveness by taking it to the Supreme Court. So just keep that in mind. Something as simple as student loan forgiveness. It is actually devilish, is it not?
And now,
we should tax
America
PPP.
must choose to move forward or to move backwards, to build a future or obsess about the past, to be a nation of hope and unity and optimism, or a nation of fear, division, and of darkness. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies.
Yo, Biden!
But together,
he's crazy.
Together we can choose a different path. We can choose a better path.
They bring us discord.
Forward to the future. A future of possibility, a future to build and dream and hope.
The shadow of
that
evil.
Path moving ahead. I know this nation. I know you, the American people. I know your courage. I know your hearts. And I know our history. This is a nation that honors our Constitution. We do not reject it. This is a nation that believes in the rule of law. We do not repudiate it. This is a nation that respects free and fair elections. We honor the will of the people. We do not deny it.
Well, I mean, like we're not going to mention Central and South America, but outside of that, true.
And this is a nation that rejects violence as a political tool. We do not encourage violence. We are still an America that believes in honesty and decency and respect for others. patriotism, liberty, justice for all, hope, possibilities. We are still, at our core, a democracy. And yet, history tells us that blind loyalty to a single leader and a willingness to engage in political violence is fatal to democracy. For a long time, we've told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it, each and every one of us. That's why tonight,
look under your chairs, everyone. And they do that. They're like, he's like, we must protect, defend democracy. That's why tonight, look under your chairs, everyone. And he's like, what? Huh? Brandon? Oh, thank you, Biden. Oh, that's sick. It's time. Lock and load, boys. Lock and load. It's time to go. But I do not support political violence. I do not support political violence.
I'm asking our nation to come together, unite behind the single purpose of defending our democracy regardless of your ideology. We're all called by duty and conscience to confront extremists who put their own pursuit of power above all else. Democrats, independents, mainstream Republicans, we must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving American democracy than MAGA Republicans are to destroying American democracy.
Now, you've heard me like compliment or like point out how he likes to differentiate MAGA Republicans and mainstream Republicans. Now we know here, when it comes to the politicians, it's kind of the same, unless you get to the local level. On more of a local level, you'll see a lot more difference. On the federal level, nah, they fall right in line with whoever gives them the most amount of power. That's how they work. That's how conservatism is. They value falling in line over a lot of other things in their ideology. With that being said, he still has to, stick to his old guy 1960s America. We're in this together roots, right? That's how he was elected. That's who he is. Some things you can't change, unfortunately. I wish you could change it. I wish he goes hard. I'd love to see it. Remember, Donald Trump was calling the Democrats the fucking enemies of the people. Okay, he said that that the Democrats were totalitarian, evil, that they were here to destroy the country, where the Democrats were just asking him politely to stop withholding military aid from Ukraine. You know what I mean? Donald Trump was going crazy when it comes to the Democrats, right? And remember, like, even through all of this during the Roe v. Wade debacle, Republicans keep calling like people on the left who don't want the government to tell them if they can't have an abortion. They call them like baby killers, fucking murderers. They call them evil, demonic. How long have the Republicans been calling the Democrats literally Satan lovers? Like demonic baby blood drinking, occult, deep state, evil fiends here to bring about the rise of the Antichrist. Like, that has been the Republican mantra forever. Yeah, longer than I've been alive. Decades. And now he's just like, part of the Republicans are bad people, and they're all going crazy and losing their minds over it. They're such children.
We, the people, will not let anyone or anything tear us apart.
Thank you.
We cannot allow to prevail. We here, you've heard it, more and more talk about violence as an acceptable political tool
Also got a
in
cream
this
pie.
country. It's not. It can never be an acceptable tool. So I want to say this plain and simple. There is no place for political violence in America, period. None, ever.
True. Isn't that right, chat? There's never any place for political violence. Political violence is bad, and we do not support it. None. We do not support. We disavow even political violence. 2 thumbs up for disavowing political violence. 2 thumbs down for political violence. We disavow. We disavow.
We come together.
We do. We come together to disavow political violence.
We saw law enforcement brutally attacked on January 6th. We've seen election officials, poll workers, many of them volunteers of both parties, subject to intimidation and death threats. And can you believe it? FBI agents just doing their job as directed, facing threats to their own lives from their own fellow citizens.
So, I'm not sure how many of you all know this. We didn't talk about it too much. I had to be busy with other things, so it didn't come into the rotation of things that we talked about. But actually, FBI agents have been very targeted. As far as I know, there was one attempted shooting of FBI headquarters so far. Also, Trump and his legal team doxed the FBI agents that signed off on the affidavit to have the search warrant on his house in Ohio. I think I'm pretty sure it was Ohio. Yeah. The FBI Ohio, well known to be one of the wackiest FBI headquarters. FBI Ohio, pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, Trump did dox the FBI agents. So basically, what happened is that the affidavit was unsealed not too long ago, and what Trump did is he was like, "Man, that's crazy," and he like put out their names and everything. I'm pretty sure. Conservative media outlet Breitbart facing criticism for publishing the names of FBI agents involved in the raid for Donald Trump. Yeah. Liz Cheney says that she's disgusted. Sorry, media outlets slammed for public. Yeah, yeah, here we go. Trump released the names of the agents in the FBI raid. Interview with ABC News. I was ashamed following the raid, which took place on the 8th. Via the search warrant signed off by Garland. Trump was holding onto documents. Last week, the redacted version of the search warrant was made available. An unredacted version, thought to have been taken by Trump himself, being circulated on sites like Breitbart. Judge Reinhard is being pushed by some to make the full document public and chided by others for any content that they already have made visible. So yeah, they're saying Trump released the unredacted search warrant and affidavit for searching his house at Mar-a-Lago, and it was just like floating around. It was either Trump or it's somebody in Trump's circle that just fucking doxed the FBI agents because they completed the search warrant on his house. This shit is insanity. It was most likely done to intimidate, to stop them, to want to stop them from coming forward, to hamper the investigation, stuff like that. It's wild.
On top of that, there are public figures today, yesterday, and the day before predicting and all but calling for mass violence and rioting in the streets.
Lindsey Graham, we saw
this. This is inflammatory. It's dangerous. It's against the rule of law. And we, the people, must say, this is not who we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't be pro-insurrectionist and pro-American. They're incompatible. We can't allow violence to be normalized in this country. It's wrong. We each have to reject political violence with all the moral clarity and conviction this nation can muster. Now.
Well, listen, Brandon, I'm gonna have to break with you on this one, buddy. With your speech the other day on funding police even more, and no word on non-police social services to help deal with things that could lead to crime. I'm not sure if this country has not normalized violence, but it's wrong.
We can't let the integrity of our elections be undermined, for that is a path to chaos. Look, I know politics can be fierce, and mean and nasty in America. I get it. I believe in the give and take of politics, in disagreement and debate and dissent. We're a big, complicated country. But democracy endures only if we, the people, respect the guardrails of the republic. Only if we, the people, accept the results of free and fair elections. Only if we, the people, see politics not as total war, but mediation of our differences. Democracy cannot survive when one side believes there are only two outcomes to an election. Either they win or they were cheated.
That's actually something that I haven't heard Democrats say very often, that they need to start saying more. Because that's so true. It's wild. Even sometimes when Republicans win these days, they say that they got cheated. It's literally, they want to push for a political system in which it's impossible for them to lose. And when they do lose, it's not that, you know, we'll just come back next time, we'll do better. No, they just cheat. Yeah, Trump won in 2016, and the first thing he said is that he was cheated. It was wild. So the first thing Trump said when he won was, "Oh my gosh, I won. I didn't know that was possible." And then he went to, "I was cheated. 3 million illegals voted." It's the same day. These people I'm losing my mind, dude.
And that's where the MAGA Republicans are today. They don't understand what every patriotic American knows. You can't love your country only when you win. It's fundamental. American democracy only works only if we choose to respect the rule of law and the institutions that were set up in this chamber behind me. Only if we respect our legitimate political differences. I will not stand by and watch. I will not, the will of the American people, be overturned by wild conspiracy theories and baseless evidence-free claims of fraud. I will not stand by and watch elections in this country stolen by people who simply refuse to accept that they lost.
Oh man, Biden. Yo, this guy, he is awoken. This is Dark Brandon. He's finally here. Remember when everybody was like, Dark Brandon wouldn't exist, Dark Brandon isn't real? Everybody saying that Dark Brandon was going to happen back when Biden was elected, or when he became the presidential nominee. Remember how everyone was like, "Oh, you guys, you're just like, you're being cringe, you're lying. Oh, you think way too highly of him." Dude, I knew it. I knew there was Dark Brandon in there somewhere. Before I even knew about Dark Brandon, I knew he was in there somewhere. Now, I voted for Bernie, but you take what you can get.
I will not stand by and watch the most fundamental freedom in this country, the freedom to vote, and have your vote counted and be taken from you and the American people. Look, as your president, I will defend our democracy with every fiber of my being, and I'm asking every American to join me.
That police in the back is busy rounding up maggots. They're going to Scranton Birkenau. It's not good. I feel bad for them. Say goodbye. That's why Biden's been trying to expand Amtrak. Anyways, he was taking a power. That's true. He was taking a power nap, bro. It's he's like Nezuko from Demon Slayer. Trump called him Sleepy Biden, but little did he know, sleeping is how he gains all of his power. Trump let him sleep for too long, and he made a grave mistake. Can we get a maggot emote? We do need a maggot emote. That's true. We do need a maggot emote. We need to get one of those sometime soon. We'll work on it. Palpatine Biden. He is the Senate.
Throughout our history, America's often made the greatest progress coming out of some of our darkest moments, like you're hearing that bullhorn. I believe we can and must do that again. And we are MAGA Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair. They spread fear and lies.
Man, he even has his fan base there to say, let's go, Brandon. You know, that's crazy. We need a shark weeb emote? What do you mean a weeb emote? I make like one anime reference once every like 10 streams. And now we need a weeb emote?
It's toll for profit and power. But I see a different America. An America with an unlimited future. An America that's about to take off. I hope you see it as well. Just look around. I believe we could lift America from the depths of COVID. So we passed the largest economic recovery package since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And today, America's economy is faster, stronger than any other advanced nation in the world. We have more to go.
Yo, we rise from COVID and drop maggots into despair. Yo, dude, I didn't know he was gonna drop the FDR. He's like, we're going bigger than FDR.
Do not
Time to punkonomics. Yeah, I would ship myself if Dark Brandon did New Deal 2. You know what? He does need to do New Deal 2. Best deal. I think it'd be pretty badass. I think it'd be pretty sick. Now, the Build Back Better bill was pretty good. I hope they're able to pass it one day. I think it'd be sick. That would be on like New Deal levels, honestly. I don't know. I'm phlegmy too. I'm catching the Dark Brandon.
I believe we could build a better America. So we passed the biggest infrastructure investment since President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Yeah, you know what? If Biden's able to pass Build Back Better, what he should do is replace FDR's picture in the White House with a soy jack.
And we've now embarked on a decade of rebuilding the nation's roads, bridges, highways, ports, water system, high-speed internet, railroads.
I do feel bad because even though the infrastructure bill did do that, and I posted something about it on my YouTube, on my Twitter account the other day. Let me show you. Even though the infrastructure bill is pretty sick, unfortunately, a lot of people in red states won't ever see anything about it. A lot of them won't see it. The reason is because, just take a look at this real quick. Mississippi will get $4.4 billion from the infrastructure bill. Here's how it can be spent. Well, here's how it could be spent. Here's how it was spent. It fucking wasn't. At least 32 states have begun allocating infrastructure bill funds and have actively seeking input for planning the best to use the money, but Mississippi leadership for the most part has procrastinated on planning on spending the 1.8 billion coming directly to the state, half of which has been sitting in the state's coffers for months. You love to see it. That good old conservative financial responsibility.
I believe we could make America safer. So we passed the most significant gun safety law since President Clinton. I believe
Yo, a Clinton reference?
we could go from being the highest cost of prescriptions in the world to making prescription drugs and healthcare more affordable. So we passed the most significant healthcare reform since President Obama signed the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, healthcare.
And
I will say, I say this a lot because I think it's an incredible thing. Democrats first planned to overhaul the prescription drug prices in this country when I was 7 years old. That's when the Democrats first did it. They first made that like the big plan when I was 7 years old. I am now 23. It has still not happened.
I believe we could create a clean energy future and save the planet. So we passed the most important climate initiative ever. Go
Biden! Dark Biden!
The cynics and the critics tell us nothing can get done, but they're wrong. There is not a single thing America cannot do, not a single thing beyond our capacity if we do it together. It's never easy. But we're proving in America, no matter how long the road, progress does come.
Progress takes a long ass time in this country. And that's why I tell you guys, no dooming. We don't have enough time to doom. We don't have the position to doom. Okay? We're not in that position. We don't have the luxury to doom. There are things that need to get done. There are people we need to save. There are conservatives that we need to boot out of power and have them never touch a single lever of power in this country again. Conservatives in this country aren't equipped to be dog catchers, let alone president, governors, senators, and house members. Okay? It takes a long time to make change in this country. But as people like Benjamin Franklin, MLK, Harvey Milk, lots of people in this country have known that it takes a long time for good things to happen. But it do be coming. We do be winning at the end of the day. All right? Progress does come. We just have to keep trying. You cannot give up. They aren't equipped to refill ketchup bottles, Shark? No, absolutely not. Let me tell you, okay? I worked at McDonald's. I've worked in production, which means that I've worked in where you put together the sandwiches. I can tell you this now. A lot of conservatives cannot, for one, engage in food safety. Those bitches, for one, would not wear a mask. And for a fact that half of them aren't even washing their hands after they come back from gripping their taint in the bathroom. That shit ain't happening. They failed their food safety courses, okay? And for a fact that they fucking obliterate the ketchup dispenser. It ain't happening. Disgusting. Washing your hands is gay. Yeah, what are you washing your hands for? To go grip your boyfriend's dick? Homosexual?
Look, I know the last few years have been tough, but today, COVID no longer controls our lives. More Americans are working than ever.
I'm not sure if we should be saying that COVID is done for, partner. It's winter is indeed coming again. I don't like that, but once again, I mean, it's not like Biden's perfect. Just far from it. COVID is not over.
Businesses are growing. Our schools are open. Millions of Americans have been lifted out of poverty. Millions of veterans once exposed to toxic burn pits will now get what they deserve for their families and their compensation.
You'll get what you deserve.
American manufacturers come alive across the heartland, and the future will be made in America. No matter what the white supremacists and the extremists say, I made a bet on you, the American people, and that bet is paying off, proving that from darkness, the darkness of Charlottesville, of COVID, of gun violence, of insurrection, we can see the light. Light is now visible. Light that will guide.
We burn the maggots. The maggots burn, and through the light of their charred corpse, we rise. It leads us to the future, dude. Let's go, Dark Brandon. That's a good line. I'm not lying. I'm not lying when I tell you there's something got into Brandon, okay? His speechwriters have been going kind of nutty. His speechwriters need a raise. It's one of the cheesiest speeches I've ever heard. Yeah, he's an American president. Well, he's an executive in a government. They all make cheesy speeches. You need to make a cheesy speech. It comes with the job. Honestly, if you don't make a cheesy speech, you're kind of fucked, honestly.
Guide us forward, not only in words, but in actions. Actions for you, for your children, for your grandchildren, for America. Even in this moment, with all the challenges we face, I give you my word as a Biden, I've never been more optimistic about America's future. Not because of me, but because of who you are. We're going to end cancer as we know it. Mark my words. We're going to create millions of new jobs in a clean energy economy. We're going to think big.
What the hell? Joe Biden's going to release the anti-cancer serum that Obama's been holding on to for all this time? We're going to end cancer? Well, I didn't even know that was on the menu, to end cancer. Okay. Cancer's fucking done for, dude. Just wait until Brandon gets his hold of. Bring me Brandon sitting in his office in the White House. Bring me the CEO of cancer. I've got a word for him. It's done. Cancer is canceled, just like corn pop. Wait a second. There's a really good chart here for, especially when it comes to drone strikes. Take a look at this. It's super interesting for especially people who are more like Kyle Kalinske types and who are like, yo, the drone war is insane, which it is. Take a look at this. This is 2020 and 2021 drone strikes, right? And so Biden's presidency, he's almost like completely destroyed like the drone war. 2016, 17, it went up a lot over here during like Trump's presidency here. And you can take a look here as well. Declared drone strikes in Afghanistan by President Biden has obliterated the drone war. It do not exist anymore. And here are declared strikes by conflict as well. And you can see 2020 and 2021, 2021 specifically, much lower than even 2020, because this is when Biden started to become a part of office. The entirety of 2021 is just what it used to be. It's insane what it's come down to. It's insane. He doesn't talk about it very much, which is really surprising. But Biden has basically ended America's drone war. I don't know why he doesn't talk about it. I don't know if it's just because like he just doesn't care that much or like other people don't care that much, but like the drop in, yeah, from a 44% reduction, 71% reduction, 88% reduction, 100% reduction in drone strikes in Yemen. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Oh, he's recruiting less overall. Oh, he stopped drone pilot recruitment. That's really funny. The military is like, but we want to drop bombs. We want to drop bombs. And Biden's like, nah, it's okay, Jack. Don't worry about it. Joe Manchin will say we need a bipartisan deal with moderate cancer lovers.
We're going to make the 21st century another American century because the world needs us to. That's where we need to focus our energy. Not in the past, not on divisive culture wars, not on the politics of grievance, but on a future we can build together. The MAGA Republicans believe that for them to succeed, everyone...
I do think it's really interesting that he called out the culture war. How like conservatives are spending their time hopping between different culture war issues, like Mr. Potato Head's non-existent penis being removed. It's crazy.
Everyone else has to fail. They believe America is not like I believe about America. I believe America is big enough for all of us to succeed. And that is the nation we're building, a nation where no one is left behind. I ran for president because I believe we're in a battle for the soul of this nation.
That is true. They are complaining now about She-Hulk twerking with, what is it, Megan Thee Stallion? That's the new right-wing culture war issue. She-Hulk in the end, how Megan Thee Stallion's a thick oiled up ass is now a part of MCU canon. As it goes.
I still believe that to be true. I believe the soul is the breath, the life, and the essence of who we are. The soul is what makes us us. The soul of America is defined by the sacred proposition that all are created equal in the image of God, that all are entitled to be treated with decency, dignity, and respect, that all deserve justice and a shot at lives of prosperity and consequence, and that democracy must be defended, for democracy makes all these things possible. Folks, and it's up to us. Democracy will be preserved.
I am so sorry. I pressed the wrong mute button. I was going to mute myself. Anyways.
And it's up to us. Democracy begins and will be preserved in we, the people's habits of the heart, in our character, optimism that is tested yet endures, courage that digs deep when we need it, empathy that fuels democracy, the willingness to see each other not as enemies but as fellow Americans. Look, our democracy isn't perfect. It always has been. Notwithstanding those folks you hear on the other side there. They're entitled to be outrageous. This is a democracy. But history and common sense.
Magnanimous Joe Biden doesn't even execute his haters on the spot. That's crazy. That's a good line. It is a good, he's got some good lines. I think that one was just off the cuff. I am a generous Biden. I am a generous God. He didn't even kill his haters. That was surprising. They've been screeching over there for the last like 10 minutes.
Good manners is nothing they've ever suffered from. But history and common sense tell us that opportunity, liberty, and justice for all are most likely to come to pass in a democracy. We have never fully realized the aspirations of our founding.
I didn't even think about that.
But every
Biden's good at
generation has
handling
opened those
hecklers.
doors a little bit wider to include more people who have been excluded before. My fellow Americans, America is an idea, the most powerful idea in the history of the world, and it beats in the hearts of the people of this country. It beats in all our hearts. It unites America. It is the American creed, the idea that America guarantees that everyone be treated with dignity. It gives hate no safe harbor. It installs in everyone the belief that no matter where you start in life, there's nothing you can't achieve. That's who we are. That's what we stand for. That's what we believe. And that's precisely what we're doing. Opening doors, creating possibilities, focusing on the future. And we're only just beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best is yet to come. He raises his arms up. Explosions they can hear in the background as he has stopped the drone strike in the Middle East, and he started the drone strike on Republican strategists in America. GOP law offices. Once again, I do not support political violence, but this is the world. That's the world that conservatives think that they live in. The intellectual, yes, it's the intellectual drone strike.
Our task is to make our nation free and fair.
I sped the video up by 1.25, so a little bit.
It installs in everyone the belief that no matter where you start in life, there's nothing you can't achieve. That's who we are. That's what we stand for. That's what we believe. And that's precisely what we're doing. Opening doors, creating possibilities, focusing on the future. And we're only just beginning. Our task is to make our nation free and fair, just and strong, noble and whole. And this work is the work of democracy, the work of this generation. It is the work of our time, for all time. We can't afford to leave anyone on the sidelines. We need everyone to do their part. So speak up, speak out, get engaged, vote, vote, vote.
Yo, you know what Joe Biden should do with Antifa, what Trump did to Proud Boys? He's like, we must get in this all together. So you all vote. And Antifa, stand back and stand by. Oh, man. Only if we lived in that timeline. Oh, that'd be so good. Antifa, stand back and stand by. We do not support political violence.
And if we do our duty, in 2022 and beyond, then ages still to come will say, we, all of us here, we kept the faith. We preserved democracy. We heeded our worst. We heeded not our worst instincts, but our better angels. We proved that for all its imperfections, America is still the beacon to the world, an ideal to be realized, a promise to be kept.
You know, unironically, I do feel for Biden a little bit. Biden would be like me if I was president, in the sense of he's a stuttery boy. I am also a stuttery boy, and people make fun of me for it every now and again. I would, you know, if I ever became like a politician or something, I would also be a little bit of a stuttery boy. And you know what? That's okay. I do feel him though. Thankfully he's been able to get a lot of his good lines out without stuttering. I do feel that. It does make me feel bad when I want to do like something I want to say something gigapog, but but in the middle, I stuttered. Biden's 79 though. Yeah, and I'm 23, but we're both stuttery boys. Biden's always been a stuttery boy. So Yeah, he's old, and the reason why he's stuttering is also because he's old, but he's always been a stuttery boy. He's always had a stutter. I do a little verbal drifting. If we do a little verbal drifting, it's called we do a little verbal drifting. Hey, when people make fun of him for it. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. My speeches would be in between Biden and Trump, where I would like stutter, but also I would get off topic too much. You know how Trump would be like, he'll just start talking and then he'll get an idea in his head. He'll say something that it seems like it looked like it surprised even him. And then he's like, wow, that's crazy. You ever think about that? And then it goes into sort of like your high friends start like randomly talking about stuff. You ever think about that? Man, that's wild. But I would be like that. That's the it'd be goofy.
There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred, nothing more American. That's our soul. That's who we truly are. And that's who we must always be. I have no doubt, none, that this is who we will be.
Yeah, Lincoln was
and that we'll come together as a nation that will secure our democracy, that for the next 200 years, we'll have what we had the past 200 years, the greatest nation on the face of the earth. We just need to remember who we are. We are the United States of America, the United States of America. And may God protect our nation, and may God protect all those who stand watch over our democracy. God bless you all. Democracy. Thank you.
So true. We love democracy here, isn't that right? This is why I'm telling you, America, no matter what you think of America, we have the best national music. This goes hard. Yeah, hit him with the Yankee Doodle remix. I love it. So yeah, there we go. That's Biden's speech, and I think that's by far Biden's best speech to date. If I'm going to be completely honest, he did an amazing job. It was truly really good. But obviously, conservatives have been losing their minds about it all day and all yesterday. They've been like, the optics in this is horrible. When he said that MAGA Republicans aren't for democracy, who would believe that? Oh, bitch, everyone? What are you talking about? Literally everyone? Except for you? I hope they're coping. Oh, they're coping really hard. They're coping a lot. So, wait, what did you send me? My 4-year-old asked me, Daddy, why does the president have red lights behind him? I told him, Dark Brandon is going goblin mode. He started crying. He started crying. He should cry. He should cry for Brandon's enemies. Okay? May God have mercy on their wretched souls. I cry for Brandon's enemies too. May God have mercy on their wretched souls. God forgives, but Brandon does not. All right? I don't know what to tell you. You're a bright spark. Oh, baby. Oh, how nice. Wait a second. Let me show you. Obviously, there's been a lot of coping, molding, seething, even. Take a look at this by our good friend of the stream, Ben Shapiro. So even worse than optics was the substance. So Ben was really mad. This image is the worst piece of presidential optics I've ever seen. Let us count the reasons. Okay, nerd, loser. I think the optics in this are really bad. When he called me a loser and said I was ugly, let's list the reasons why this is bad optics. Okay, loser. What a fucking nerd. Lighting a historical American site, the site of our founding fathers, bled red. Once again, it was white, red, and blue because I don't know why, but conservatives have forgotten that red is one of our 3 national colors. It is true. I like your show, watching you instead of Turkish Shark. Thank you, I appreciate that. Turkish Shark, I mean, he's great. He's okay. Ben confirmed colorblind. Yeah, they didn't see the other colors, which is very curious. I don't know that they just can't see. Maybe they're stupid. Actually, never mind. They are stupid. The red and black background against the front-lit visage of a grim old man screaming at Americans, fist clenched. What a fucking loser. How dare you clench, he fists, he old. All of the horror. This is literally bad optics. When you clench your fist and old, it's very sad, honestly. The Marines standing in the backgrounds, their faces in shadow, only the white glove. What do you want them to do? Start twerking when the bass drops with his fucking speech or something? What the hell do you want the Marines to do? They're doing what Marines do. Stand there. That's what all of them do. At the White House and Marine One. It's just like, boo-hoo, my pussy hurts. Fuck you, Ben. Who cares? What? And he's got this image of Dark Brandon saved. He's like, maybe they were trying to do this. You're such a fucking loser. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. They're getting paid boku bucks to stand there. Yeah, I think, yeah, they're getting paid mad bucks to stand there. They're literally vibing. Holy. Anyways, let's take a look at the old lol cows, you know? Let's take a deep dive into the lol cows. Let's see what they all have to say recently. Oh man, Steven is he's tweeting right now. Oh, Crowder was locked out of his account since Tuesday. That's really funny. That's really funny. So he just got his account back. Joe Biden, a more divisive president than Trump ever was. So true. When Donald Trump said that Hispanic people coming over the border are rapists and murderers and criminals, that was probably one of the most non-divisive things I've ever heard a president say. And when Biden said democracy good, don't let people take away your democracy, horrible. Dude, you know what? You know what we always remember? A hit dog hollers. All right? A hit dog hollers. Everybody saying, oh, I can't believe that he said this. Oh, I can't believe that he did this. Oh, he's dividing us. Nobody's being divided. We're being separated because there's two groups, good people and bad people. People want to destroy the country in bad ways are bad people. Maggots are bad people. I'm sorry, they are. I don't know what to tell you. Make the lights red. You know what? You're right. Honestly, you're lucky that Brandon is up there and not me, buddy. All right? Because when I get the red lights behind me, let me tell you, it's going to be over for you. It's not as easy. I'm not going to go easy on you like Brandon did. I'm not going to let you off the hook like Brandon did. Biden may be on his Dark Brandon arc. I'm on my King Shark arc. Let me tell you, it ain't nice out there. We smelling blood in the water. My room is painted with the blood of our enemies. I disavow political violence. The left constantly wants to divide and conquer. We're going to be talking about division because the right is tearing themselves apart as they try to tear the country apart, which is very, very funny. But he keeps tweeting about this. This is the only thing, this singular picture is the only thing this man has tweeted about in the last 24 hours. Tell me you're a dictator without telling me you're a dictator. Joe Biden has divided more Americans than the other president. He put out his own quote in a tweet. Bitch, just tweet. Just tweet. Just make the tweet. Why are you quoting yourself? Wait, oh man, maybe, you know what? Because he does this a lot, especially when it comes to his YouTube channel. Like he literally only quotes himself in articles that he and his website have written when he wants to pull a source about something that happened. It's actually insane. I don't think he even knows that other people can speak at this point. I'm the only man who can speak. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Let's do a wellness check. Let's do a wellness check on all of these guys. You know, let's see what's going on. We'll do a cute little wellness check. Here, let's see. Let's check up on Matt Walsh. Oh, Matt Walsh hasn't said a word. Matt Walsh hasn't said a word. Matt Walsh is just, on his Twitter account, he's just, at this moment in time, he's just doing a victory lap. When it comes to the bomb threat at that one children's hospital, who he said was eating children or whatever. Okay, very interesting. It seems he's got his eyes on the prize. He's got his eyes on the prize. I see. All this talk about Democrats. True. Remember, Republicans have been calling like Democrats like pedophiles for the last well, forever, but they've started to pick up the hey, you're a pedo. All of my political enemies are pedophiles, you know? An Idiot's Guide to they've been reading the Idiot's Guides to Politics. Everyone I don't like is a pedophile, and that's what they've been running on recently. Kevin McCarthy, House Minority Leader, instead of trying to bring the country together to solve our many problems that he created, Biden chose to divide. What is this? Oh, Ilhan Omar? Man, that's crazy. You defended Trump calling Democrats savages and un-Americans, wanting to send American citizens who were lawmakers back to God knows where. Yeah, remember when Donald Trump said that, like, the squad needs to go back where they came from? Remember that? Remember that when, like, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, and AOC were all voted into office, and he was like, the squad needs to go back where they came from. Like, what the hell? But they were perfectly fine with that. Okay, sure. Mock Americans with disabilities embraced white supremacy. Said women should be grabbed by the pussy. Yeah, the pussy grabberino. I almost forgot about the grab 'em by the pussy. I almost forgot about the grab 'em by the pussy line. What classic American bangers. It's true. All of these people are insane. Okay. All of these people are insane, and they don't care about any of this. They only care about they only care about being called out after people say something about their wrongdoing. They'd be perfectly fine to demean, hate, destroy, take away the civil liberties and rights of conservatives. At the moment are talking about how they would want to overturn gay people's right to marry each other, as well as hello, I'm busy. I'm almost done. I promise. I'm almost done. Put anti-miscegenation laws back on the books. Put anti-sodomy laws back on the book to stop you from giving head and bussy. It is very sad. It is very disgusting. And this is exactly who they are. The only reason they're mad is not because it's not true, everything Biden said. Remember, they weren't saying. Have we seen any of them say that what Biden was saying is not true yet? All of them, none of them gave like a point by point analysis of why what Biden said wasn't true. All they were saying is that he shouldn't have said it. It's divisive to say it. It's divisive to tell the truth. That should tell you a lot about the type of people that we're working with. They're not good people.